Hi everyone, I'm going to sow a few more seeds. Some beetroot, some spring onions and some the Hearst green shaft peas. I'm going to try and get an early start on them. I think it'll be quite slow to get going because it's still quite chilly, but peas don't mind a bit of cold as long as they're not too wet. Spring onions, I'm going to do some red spring onions this year as well as the usual Ishikura. I've got some white Lisbon seeds I might sow later on, in the year for another bunch. So I'm going to multi-sow all the spring onions and also the beetroot, because the beetroot are some seeds left over from last year, so this should still be viable. They've been wrapped up all right. Bolt Hardy, I've got some other ones, but Bolt Hardy are usually quite reliable. There's only really me that eats beetroot. Also some radish, because radish will grow okay now, I should imagine, so it's something to nibble at quick, in between now and when the main season starts. So we shall get on with that. I've been pre-watered this one for the spring onions. There's 20, so I'm just going to do 10 of each in that, and then I've got 30 of these, which are just old 40 cell trays that were a bit bust up and that, so I managed to cut some decent strips of 3 out. I've got an old windowsill planter box that can go in that for now, just a cheap one I bought a few years ago from Pound Shop. The inserts have gone bust, but might as well make use of the space. So what have I got in my pocket first here? What we got? Right, the red spring onion are North Holland Red Blood or Red Mate, DT Browns. Never grown them before. I can't remember if I've ever grown red. I probably haven't, I don't know. You tend to forget over the years what you've grown and what you haven't. So start off Ishikura, get them in. It's simply sort of try and get a bunch of the spring onion seeds. Maybe 5 or 6 or something. It's probably easier if I just tap them into my hand. Because otherwise there'll be knowing my luck, I'll tip it a bit too much and it'll just hurl out. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter if you put like 10 in, to be honest. I mean, because they'll push themselves out and about in the ground. Probably planted, 6 to 8 inches apart in the clumps. And then when you start harvesting these, you can sow some more as well in the trays ready. I'd say the thing is, in the main season, the hardest thing is keeping the seed trays damp, because the sun ends up being a bit of your enemy, as daft as it sounds. There's a few more in that one there, so I'll pinch a few out of that one. You can thin them out if you want. And we've got the red ones. It's just something a little bit different, you got to try your different variety. That's how you can stumble across varieties that work really well in your conditions, because not everything works for everyone everywhere. I mean, I struggle with the Zebrun shallots, but I've seen good results off other people, but I tended to do better off the Kappa onions. I'll probably give shallots a go again, maybe next year. So I'm just going to continuously sow stuff. I have no idea where things are going to be planted out. I'm just going to make sure I've got a bit of everything, because I've got quite a bit of ground to grow in. So you can always squeeze things in here and there. It's like celery. It's only me that eats celery. So I'll probably not do loads of celery. I'll have to throw these seeds everywhere. Well, it's still a bit chilly. I'm sure things will be okay. Right, before I cover them up, I'll try and find a Bolt Hardy. I'm just going to get my finger after, and then I'll just push the seeds down a bit. So I'm just going to multi-sow. I'll push it down a bit now. Just giving them a bit of a wideish area in the middle. Because as they're growing, because I've got no dig beds, they're quite loose, and they will push themselves apart. And you can twist out, the thinner ones as you go. If you want to, you can leave some in, to get a lot bigger. But like three or four in each. So the wind's still a bit gusty. It's definitely not a day to be sowing carrot seeds. So you want carrots growing everywhere. Because beetroot seeds generally tend to be a sort of a clumping seed, a little cluster, and the same with that as well. And you can, there's probably enough here for 2 rows for me, so it's only going to take up 2 foot of a raised bed, so it's no big deal. It's just something that you can start picking, and because they're not all like a uniform size at the same time, you get like a lengthy harvest, and you can sow them some more, sort of July time if you want for a later crop. So these are old seeds, so if they don't come up, I can get some more. Plenty of time for beetroot anyway. And then I'm just going to push them down into the compost. Just till it sort of a bit nudged into the top of it, and then I know they've got good contact then. It's just simply I've got a sieve here, but I think it'll just blow away, so I think I'll do the old method of just waft it on by hand, I think. It's just multi-purpose compost, put through a sieve, take the big lumps out, still a few lumps in, and just add a little bit of vermiculite. That's them. Just give that a nestling down over the top, that should be okay. So they're only like, a half-inch deep. They'll be quite slow to germinate, because I'm just going to leave them out in the polytunnel. Because as well, the sun was out earlier on. It did get up to 20 degrees in the polytunnel with the door open, so it does have the heat days. I'll just cluster everything together, and hopefully they'll share a little bit of heat. 2 big bags of compost down here, I'll put them in there later on. Got a light damping down, not too hard. So these spring onions have been watered already. I'll give these a light watering after. The compost is quite damp, to be honest. Right, so that's the beetroot done, and spring onions. So I better get some labels ready. I'm just going to put S-O red and S-O white. Pop them in there. That's them. Pop them down out the way for the moment. I'll just clear this top off a little bit. Right, get some stuff for radish now. These are just, I mean, I got these a few years ago. They're actually wallpaper pasting tubs. You know, you put your paste in, you drop your roll in. I think they're about £1.50. They're quite tough, to be honest. It's not, you know, they're all right for depth and that. You know, they're good 4.5, 5 inch deep. Probably all right for herbs and stuff, to be honest. You know, which I'm hoping to grow some herbs this year. It's my own compost. This, it's a bit wet. This is not getting watered at all. It's just like a wormy compost. Quite wet. Straight out of the compost heap. Just put through a sieve. Most of it went back in because it was big lumps. So just find my seeds. Right, so we've got the French breakfast. Quite handy actually. They came, the radish seeds came free with the magazine. So should have broadcast them. You know, I'm not going to do absolutely stacks because you end up not getting through them. You're better off like hanging fire and doing another tray in a couple of weeks, really. There's probably way too many in there, but I can thin them out. And these are Cherry Bell. I don't get as many seeds in this, so I think I'll just broadcast them by hand. You know, they're not a massive seed, but they're quite easy to sow. You know, radish is alright for it. A lot of the old school gardeners used to use it for marking rows. They didn't sow it with things like, you know, carrots and things. You kind of mark where your row is because they're up pretty quick. They're a similar size seed actually to like lamb's lettuce, to be honest. So, same again, my own compost. So I can't squeeze it or anything because it'll just clump into a ball. It needs to dry out, so none of these are getting watered. It's just got to have a light covering. You know, because I should imagine once these germinate and do start watering, this compost is going to sink down a little bit under its own weight. Just try to spread it fairly thinly. So there's bugs in it and everything, there's little worms in here. All part of the composting process, I guess. I should imagine won't cause any harm to these. There won't be more bugs in the actual ground, I think, than there is in these tubs. So all this compost is made of kitchen scraps, tea bags, and Kane's old bedding. These offcuts of food, offcuts from the garden veg. It's fully recycled cardboard and all sorts of stuff. Oh, I better put some tags in them as well. It's not so warm on the hands. Put radish. Cherry, that one, and I'll just put French breakfast. I don't know what they are. And that's the radish. So I'm going to do some peas now, I think. Right, we'll do some Hurst green shaft peas in the gutters. Just filled with multi-purpose compost. It's actually spent compost. It was what I used in my potatoes last year. I put it through a sieve and it's been bagged up all winter. So I pulled it out to see what it was like, and it's nice and fine, to be honest. So I thought, well, instead of throwing it away, I'll put it to use, save me ripping over and opening a new bag. As I say, because it's only to see him through for probably 4 or 5 weeks, and they'll be going out in the plot then. Fingers crossed. So I'm not going to bother doing the 5-a-dice thing. I'm just going to sort of sow them. I mean, there's enough peas here to probably do 3, but I'm going to spread it over to 4. But it's just a case of just a good scattering, really. I mean, I've got some more seeds if I need, so I can always stick them up a bit if I want. Compost at the bottom of these has been pre-watered. I think I'll go and get a few more pea seeds. I've got some more pea seeds. Them ones have been soaked for about 2 hours. These are just bone dry. It's just a couple of hours taking a bit of water, but I'm sure these will catch up. It's just a case of anywhere that looks a bit thin, just stick them up. Just be warned if you have problems with mice. You might try and have a do. I mean, I haven't had any problems with mice yet in the past. Well, at the plot I have, but not in the garden. So you can lay some mesh over them if you want. But usually, if they want them, they'll come and get them. Sparse bits here and there. That'll do for that. You know, it's a bit thicker in some places. You know, you can go along and just pick a few out and roll them around if you want. But it doesn't have to be too perfect throughout. And just get some compost and cover them up. And all I've done at the end of these gutters, I've just got some duct tape. Usually I don't bother, but as there was a roll to hand, I thought, oh, use some of that, save me clodding it up at the ends. There is a little gap at the bottom, so any excess water can run out. I say it's really nice and soft, this spent compost. Yeah, so you've got a good 3/4 inch to an inch on top. If you plant peas too shallow, they can be a bit wobbly. So I tend to like putting them a little bit on the deeper side. Used to be, years ago, I used to soak the peas in paraffin and stuff to stop the mice. but Mother Nature's going to have a bit of a go. So we've got to sow enough, some for you, some for pests. All being well, start picking these in June. Take about, 100 days, something like that. Maybe a bit longer because of being sown. I used to grow an early one called Felton First. I used to be picking them in May sometimes. Just in case of going over. And just lightly back of your hand, just tamper it down. Or you've got a piece of wood, you can use that, or the back of a trowel or something. And then I might give him a little bit of water after, but it'll not be a lot. I'd rather keep him a little bit more on the dry side, because he has been watered from underneath the compost before. Because if you put them too densely on top of the water, it'll kind of sheets over them, and then when your peas start to come, you get big chunks of compost coming up. But we'll just see how the weather goes. And hopefully, a couple of weeks, you should see signs of sprouting. The peas all in the polytunnel now. I'll just have to see how they go. That's it for this video. So thanks for watching, and if you're a new subscriber, thanks for subscribing. And if you want to see any more future videos of mine, just hit the bell to get the notification whenever I upload anything. So thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.